let's go ahead and rock and roll here. So good morning. Last time we did, good afternoon. It's good afternoon now, isn't it? So last time we dealt with our cognates, words that look very similar, both Spanish and English. We opened up that little document, we filled that out, and then I had you guys go back and fill in the rest. We looked at the patterns, the mentes and the escuela, the ES, 5 or 6 different patterns there. We're going to continue with that same kind of concept. As a matter of fact, I wasn't, yeah, I tell you what. Can you guys go back to your Google Classroom and unsubmit that that cognates worksheet that we did last time? Let me screen share here. If you guys will go back and just reopen that document. If you guys will just go reopen that document and open it with Cami so that we can annotate on it again. So let's look, what I want to do is look at a little bit of what we didn't get to on that document from last time. We just dealt with the first 2 pages there, but I want to try to take it a little step further with those cognates, the words that look similar in Spanish and English, so that we can make our educated guess as to what we think the words mean. And I don't know if any of you guys remember. I'm just pulling up the one that we already marked on here, and that's okay. So when you have that pulled up, let me move this out of the way. Let's move it to the bottom. When you guys have that document pulled up, let's go and look at, let's scroll through page 1, page 2. Let's look at the 3rd page, okay? So the 3rd page at the top, it says number 2, indirect cognates. Just find that page. There's a whole list of words there, and there's a few questions down at the bottom of the page. So this is where we start to make a little more of a leap in your mind between what the word means and what it means in Spanish and what it means in English. So this says, at the top here, it says many Spanish words are indirectly related in form and meaning to English words. That is, they are recognizable. There is a recognizable similarity in the 2 words and an indirect connection in the meaning. For example, the word libro means book. The word libro is book. It's related in form to the English word library. So the word library and the word libro, they're not exactly the same, but there is a recognition, there's a recognizable pattern in between the 2 to help us know that the word libro is related to books, because we know the word library. What we're dealing with here is sort of, with the example of the word libro, finding the word or trusting your brain to find the word that looks similar and make the leap. So between libro and library, for example, there are lots of words here on the list. Let's jump down to the bottom and let's see if we can figure this out. Don't worry about the words on the list just yet. So let's look at this. The first word on the word is ballet. What they're going to ask us to do is find the word that's related to ballet, and then we're going to write what the word is, and then what the Spanish word that goes with it. So from there, we would go back up here and look at our list. So ballet, the word ballet, for example, you guys are going to notice that it's in the right-hand list. So if right here is the word ballet. Now, the relationship, the bridge word, if you will, that joins the 2 together. Ballet, we have to dance, and we also have the English or the Spanish word bailar. So the word bailar literally means in Spanish to dance. But we can kind of make an educated guess to that by bridging the gap between bailar and ballet. They're not exactly the same. There's enough difference between the 2 words where it's hard to just guess. But again, there's something in the middle that sort of ties those 2 words together, to dance. So let's get rid of this. for example. So let's do this as at the bottom of the page. Let's type that in there real quick. Ballet. We know that the word was bailar. We found that on our list. And it meant to dance. Okay, so let's try this again. Let's see if we can do this. Let's try number, I like number 6. So number 6, the word is apprentice. So what is an apprentice? If you're a sorcerer's apprentice from the movies, what is an apprentice? If you're an apprentice carpenter or an apprentice worker of some sort, it's a student. It's someone who's learning from a teacher, from someone who's their teacher, right? So let's look at our list. So let's find number 1, the bridge word, and then number 2, what the actual Spanish word is. So let's go back up here in our list and we can find, here is our word apprentice. And here we go with the word to learn. So an apprentice is someone who's learning. And then here's the Spanish word that's bridged together with the two, aprender, which means to learn. Okay, so let's put that on our list. Let's put that on our blank there. So we know that the word was aprender, which means to learn. And again, this is a situation where the words aren't exactly similar like they were with the first group. We have to make a little bit more of a leap in our mind, but there's something in the middle that joins them together, that there's a link there in the change or in the chain. How about somebody tell me, let's do number 4. So the word is century. Don't look at the list up above. Unmute yourselves. What do you think century is? What's the bridge? If we go blank, 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 what's the bridge for century? How many years is a century?
100.
100 years. So century is 100 years. Now let's look at our list and let's go find that. So where's my century? Here's my century. Okay. 100 is the word that relates, and then that goes to literally the word in Spanish for 100 is ciento. So the bridge word is ciento. Which means 100. Can you guys think of any other words that go along with ciento, meaning 100? How about percent? If you have the word 100, for example, 100%, it's literally, that's PER, per, and cent, meaning 100. So if you got a 90% on your test, you got 90 out of 100, 90%. Let's do one more of these. Let's try with, okay, let's do number 8. We have the word aviation. Somebody tell me unmute yourself. What's aviation? What's another word for aviation? If you're an aviator, it's another word for an aviator.
To fly?
Yeah. Yeah. So if we do aviation, let's go find on our list. It is, aviation is here. So here's our aviation. And that goes over with airplane, which goes over with avión. The word avión means airplane. So let's go put that on our list here. Avión, A-V-I-O-N, avión means airplane. And then we also had aviator, which is another word for a pilot. And we have other words that are related there as well. Any science geeks? What's the word for aves? Is the species name, the scientific species name for birds? Again, there's that relationship, that AV. Okay, let's scroll this. I want to do a little bit more. Scroll on your document. We're not going to worry about go back and finishing in the blanks. I'm not worried about that. We're just doing a little bit of practice here. Let's scroll your document down to, we're going to go 2 more pages here. Skip the next page, and then we're going to see this one. It's very similar. This one says number 3, and it says indirect cognates, part 2. It's the same thing, just a different set of words. Everybody have that page? Okay, let's do the same thing, except I'm going to have you do this on your own. Let's choose 5 of these to do. I want you guys to do, let's do number 5. Let's do number 13. How about number 1? Let's do number 9. And how about if we do, let's do number 10, number 10, okay? Do those 5. Do the same thing we just did. Look at the word, try to go find and match it up. Put the words from column 1 and column 2 that go in the blank. Then we'll come back and check you guys and see how you did. List here. How we doing? Let's take a look. If you're not quite finished yet, that's okay. If you are, let's go through this. So how about Leanne, tell me what you came up with for number one, lunar. What'd you write down?
Lunar.
And
Moon.
moon. Very good. So the word for moon in Spanish is luna, la luna, it means moon. Can you guys think of any other words that have luna?
Lunar eclipse.
Lunar eclipse, yes. How about anybody know what a lunatic is? What's another word for a lunatic?
Someone who's insane or crazy.
Someone who's insane. So the word lunatic is related to moon and luna because you are said to have or thought to have been driven insane by the moon. So when there's a full moon out and people say, oh, out come the crazies, out come the lunatics. That's where that comes from. Original meanings coming from astrology, stargazing. Bueno. Perla, what'd you come up with for facilitate?
Okay, sorry.
That's okay.
Okay. It means easy, which is fácil.
Yeah. Oop, sorry. So easy.
Go open the door.
And fácil. So we said those backwards, but again, it's the same thing. So the word fácil in Spanish means easy. So if you facilitate something, oftentimes someone who's helping someone out is going to facilitate a meeting or help make things, move things along or whatever it might do. Make something easier for someone, you facilitate. Okay, there we go. Bueno. William, what'd you come up with for herb, number 9? Where is he? There he is. Unmute yourself, William. Tell me, what'd you come up with for 9? Awkward silence. All right, I don't know what's going on there. William, are you there? It's pretty easy to, when you don't have a picture, when I can't see your live picture, to just pretend you're there when you're not really there. Addison, how about you? What'd you come up with for 9?
I don't know.
Did you say, what did you say you don't know? Ooh, what happened? Did I just lose her? Kiera, how about Kiera for number 9? What'd you come up with?
I don't know how to say it.
Give it a shot. Just do your best.
Herba
Uh-huh.
and
H-I-E.
grass.
Yeah. And that's grass. It's pronounced hierba. The H is silent. So hierba, and that means grass. And that's related to the word herb, which, you know, that's plants, things that we use to flavor our foods. Herbs, hierba. Okay. Excelente, muy bien. How about, let's do, Malachi, what'd you come up with for scribble?
Escribir.
Yeah. Escribir, which means,
To write.
yeah, to write. Escribir, which means to write. And guys, here's an example of that pattern that we talked about last time, where the E plus a consonant, or the E plus an S. So in English, we would probably just say scribe or script, scribble, etc. In Spanish, they're going to put the E sound in front of it. So just, instead of scriber, it becomes escribir, escribir, to write. And that also is, yes, that's where we get words like script, ascribe, even words like describe. They're all related in there to somehow writing. Okay, last one, 13. Let's do Anya Sophia. Anya Sophia, tell me what you got for mirror.
Mirar.
There you go. Oops. And it means what?
To look at.
Yeah, to look at. Mirar means to look at. That's where we get our English word mirror. Those two are related. And guys, you'll see lots of other words that go along with that are also related. Like we can do, I'll put this down here. Like we have in the desert, you might see a mirage. If you look at someone that you like, you might admire them. All those words are related to that Spanish, that mirar, to look at thing, okay? It's taking that word, finding that Spanish word and that English word and kind of either visually finding something that bridges the gap, or maybe it sounds the same, something that bridges the gap, but then you also have to sort of bridge the gap between the two to find the meanings, okay? Finding those patterns. All right, where are we at here? Excelente. Okay, so like I said before, you don't need to go back in and finish the rest. We just wanted to do some of those as our practice. You can leave that. Here's what we want to do. So let's go do the same thing, but in a different way. I want you guys to open a new tab, and I want you to go to Socrative, Socrative.com. Let me go to my launch here. Web address is Socrative.com. When you get in there, click on the student sign in, and then the room number is 663250. We're going to do a little practice here. So I'll pull my Socrative, I'll pull this up. And let's go to so once you guys get into that Socrative, click on the student login, put in the number of 663250. I'm going to go ahead and start the first question. You don't have to answer it yet, but you can if you want. So we're going to look at those patterns that we talked about either today or from last time and see if you can figure out, make an educated guess as to what you think the word means based on one of those patterns that we talked about, or based on finding a bridge word that you can maybe figure out what the word is. These should all be either words that we've seen, talked about the last two classes, or something that's relatively close to those words that we talked about the last two classes. Seven of eight. Okay, let's take a look. We're close. How'd we do? So, autoridad, remember our DAD? The pattern there was, if it's DAD, that the pattern is, that's a TY word in English. So if we think about that, that's autoridad, or authority. We change that DAD to a TY, and then we can kind of make that jump in our mind there. Autoridad, authority. Here's our next one. So the word is remedio. Is that remember, half, romance, remedy? Perfecto, we're about halfway there. Let's see how we do. So remedio, there we go, remedy. Those words that end with IO and IA, that's very often going to be a Y word. Excelente, let's keep moving. Numeroso, numeroso. This one's a little tricky. We'll see if we catch anybody on this. So numeroso, remember, one of our patterns, we said OSO is the equivalent of OUS in English. So this would be like the word numerous. So what's another word for numerous? Many. I thought I might get some idea with numbers. So it's not always the exact same word, but it's a similar word. So we have to make the jump in our mind to make the word numerous and then find the syllable, the synonym, I'm sorry, find the synonym, which then becomes many. Numbers is números. It's close. Okay, let's try this one. Rápidamente. There's that mente pattern. Rápidamente. So we have here the mente, the equivalent of the LY pattern. All four words are LY words. We have to think about the other part of the word and then see if we can put the two together there. So we come up with rápidamente, quickly, very good. We answered very rápidamente. Okay, let's try this one. Espectáculo, espectáculo. Hopefully just from looking, we can kind of figure that one. And that's very often the case. We're 8 of 10 already. Yeah, that's very often the case with those ES words. So they just throw, in Spanish, Hispanohablante, Spanish speakers will just throw that extra E on the front. But other than that, it's very similar. Excuse me. How about diente? Think about diente. All right, let's take a look. How'd we do? Diente, tooth. Now this one, dent. If you're one of the people that guessed at dent, I totally get it because that follows the same rules that we've just been talking about. Is these words are both, they're going to look similar, they're going to sound similar. But remember, I said about 95% of the time it's the case. Every now and then you're going to find one that's not. This would be, if you guessed dent, you followed all the rules, you guessed everything just right. Same thing with dainty. You made an educated guess, but it's not always correct. But this is one of those words where we have the tie, we have the bridge word in between. So we have diente, which means tooth. What's the obvious bridge word there for diente and tooth? That's our dentist, right? What kind of gum do you chew? Dentine. That's where the name dentine comes from, because dentine gum is supposed to help clean your teeth, keep your teeth clean. Or that's one of the selling points of it anyway. I don't know if it actually does or not. But diente and tooth. All right, here we go. A couple more of these. Choose the word for carne. I'm only giving you two examples, or two options. Very good. Most of us are there at meat. Carne means meat. So again, the bridge word there between the two, carnivore. So like Tyrannosaurus Rex is a carnivorous animal. He's a carnivore. Carnivore is a meat eater. Otherwise, they're plant eaters, which is an herbivore. Meat, carne. Okay, here we go. Another bridge word, cine. Cine is the word. Is that sign or is that movie theater? Excelente. Let's take a look. 9 of us there. How do we do? Movie theater. Good. What's the bridge word that we're thinking about for movie theater with cine?
Cinema.
Yeah, cinema. So cine is the word for movie theater in Spanish. Cine. Excelente. Okay, a couple more. Here we go. Think about the bridge word. The word is dormir. Does it mean to sleep or to dance? Awesome. Let's see. Very good. Where do we sleep at? Where do you sleep at when you're on the college campus? Where do you sleep? In a dormitory. Dormirs to sleep. There you go. One more. Enfermo is the word. Does that mean free or does that mean sick? Enfermo. Muy bien. Let's take a look. How'd we do? Sick. Very good. Everybody got it that time. Enfermo, sick. So you think about the infirmary. If you're in the military and you get sick or something, where do you go? You go to the infirmary. Very good. Okay, one more. I'm gonna do one more. So this one is morir. Does it mean to run or to die? Morir. All right, let's take a look. Does it mean to run or to die? Very good. Morir, to die. You think about the word mortal or mortality or immortal. If you're immortal, it means you live forever. You're not going to die. There you go. Bridging that gap between the two. Finding the bridge word there. All right, let's finish. Let me click my finish button here. We'll log out of there. Okay. You guys can sign out of that. Okay, so let's go. We got about 5 minutes here. 5 or 10 minutes to go take a look at what I want you to do for your practice today. Guys, on your Google Classroom, let's go back to your classroom page. There's a new assignment there. It should be posted. I should have posted it at the beginning of class. It's called Enrich Vocab Through Spanish. This is a thing that we do as we're looking at cognates to try and figure out if you guys will open that up, and we're going to do the same thing. Let's annotate it with Cami. And we'll look at what we're going to do here. And again, if you're one of the guys if you're one of the Spanish 1 people that was with me last year, some of this stuff we did. I think we did part of this page, but I don't think we did the whole thing. Can I connect? I don't need that. So let's look at what we're going to do here. So we have, should be a total of, I believe, 10. So we're going to take a word. They're going to give us the word. Here's the word bailar, for example. We used that earlier. They're going to give us the word bailar, and they're going to tell us from the Latin word ballare, meaning to dance. They're going to give us, in this case, A, B, C, D, 4 things that we have to fill in the blank. A formal party where people dance. Guys, here are your options for your answers right down below. So we have ball, ballerina, ballet, or ballroom. Which one of those would fit with a formal party where people dance? Somebody want to take a shot at it?
Ballet.
Nope.
Ballroom.
Nope.
A ball.
A ball, yeah. Now let's do the second one. A room where the formal dance is held. Which one would that be?
Ballroom.
There we go. That's the ballroom. Now we're going to do an artistic form of dancing. A.
It's ballet.
There you go. That's a ballet. And then finally, the last one we're going to do, a person who performs the artistic dance would be a
Ballerina.
ballerina. There we go. So all 4 of those words are bridge words that, again, are based off of the clue that they gave us at the very beginning, which was bailar, and then they gave us, that comes from the Latin ballare, meaning to dance. So we have bailar and we have to dance, and then we can use those pieces to bridge the gap. Okay. Let's do the next one the same way. Let's do the next one together. Let's do one more. So let's look at number 2. We have the word cantar, which means, from the Latin cantare, it means to sing. Okay, so cantar means to sing. Bach wrote many of these choir pieces. Here are our answer choices: cantatas, cantor, or chant. What do you think? Any musical prodigies in the room?
Cantatas.
Cantatas, yes. The second one, letter B, in a Jewish service or ceremony, the person who sings. So which one of those would be the person who sings?
Cantor.
The cantor. And then finally, we're left with a melody in which a number of words are sung on one note. That would be a
Chant.
chant. There we go. Just like that. Okay. And again, all 3 of those English words, they're all related to cantar, the Spanish word, which means to sing. Okay. Let's take a pause for a second. Let me unshare my screen. Let's come back together and say that that's your homework. That's what I'm going to ask you guys to do for your homework, is to finish that up, do the same thing, find those bridge words, and see if you can fill in the pieces. Okay. Anybody have questions with cognates and stuff like that? Like I said, it's not, sometimes it can be a little tricky, but for the most part, we have to begin to develop and trust your brain that you can make those make those connections, those linguistic connections in your brain and find the answers. Okay. Sometimes, like that last word with, how many of you guys knew what a cantata was? Okay. If you didn't know what a cantata is, maybe you can just use the process of elimination. It's not one of the other two. It's got to be that one. You can do it that way too. But again, we're building those sort of based on what we do know, leaping into what we don't know to make the connection between the two. Okay. All right. Questions, comments, goodbyes. Anybody? Anybody have questions? Comments? Who is that, Brianna?
My dog Munchkin.
Munchkin. He's cute. All right, guys. Well, if you don't have any questions, I'm going to leave you to it. Like I said, you guys can just continue right there with your document, fill that out, attach it to the assignment on Google Classroom when you finish with it. And then we'll take a look at that and continue for next week. Okay.
See you
Awesome,
at
guys.
2 o'clock with your first aid kit.
2 o'clock with your first aid kit. Awesome. Okay, guys. Adios. Nos vemos. Hasta luego.